All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we got a fun one lined up, a little more lighthearted chill video. We got some blue-yellow Queen action. That's right, guys. Blue-yellow Queen. I think OP04 is when this leader came out. We're going to be having a little bit of fun with it in today's video. So let's get right into it. It's going to be like a standard video, guys, where we go over a deck, where we go over the deck list first, then we hop over to the sim. We check out 4 games on the sim. We only got 4 for today. We'll talk about that more in a minute. The deck struggles a little bit. We'll talk about it in a minute, and then we'll wrap up the video by showing off the deck list one more time, and I'll tell you guys what I think about it moving forward. Okay, so let's do this, guys. I'll have everything time-stamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and stuff like that in the comment section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. Today's video is brought to you by Nin Garden, and their summer kickoff sale is live. They're offering 10 to 40% off site-wide across the entire store. For a limited time, get a free playmat tube with every Sun God playmat purchase while supplies last. Also, don't forget to use my code, the VV Theory, at the checkout for an extra 5% off. Alright, guys, let's go ahead and break down this deck list for today. We're going to start off with the leader as usual, especially for the newer players who might not know how this leader works. We have the 5,000 power 4 life blue-yellow leader that has the effect Dawn ×1 when attacking. If your hand and life total is 4 or less, draw 1 card. If you have a cost 8 or higher character, you may place up to 1 card from the top of your deck on top of your life instead of drawing 1 card. It says it twice, instead of drawing 1 card. So the idea is this. If you have 4 or less cards in your hand plus life, so if you have like 2 in your hand and 2 in your life, if you attach a Dawn and attack with this leader, you'll get to draw a card. But if you have a character on the board that costs 8 or more, then you get to gain a life instead. Okay, instead of drawing the card, you'll gain a life from the top of your deck instead. So it's a pretty cool leader effect. It's a leader that I really enjoyed when it first came out, all the way back in OP04. I was really enjoying playing this leader, but I feel like it never really got the support it needed, and then over time, I feel like it got kind of power crept out of the game. So let's go ahead and break down the deck list. I'll show you guys what we're working with here. I know it looks a little crazy. This is basically a mono yellow list here with some really strong blue removal. Let's go ahead and break it down and we'll talk about it. So we're running 4 of the 8 cost Katakuri, 4 beige, 3 Yamato, 3 Enel. MVP today, guys. We're going to talk about this more later. 2 Onamis, 4 Kikudojo, 4 Hiyori, 4 Neko Mamushi, 4 Nami, 4 Basil Hawkins, 4 2K Counter Zeus, 4 Charlotte Brule, the blocker, not the 2K counter, 2 Gum Gum Red Rock, 2 Gravity Blade Raging Tiger, and 2 You're the One Who Should Disappear event. So again, this is basically it's kind of a spin on the red-yellow Sabo Trigger Rush aggro list. It's not the exact same thing, but that's kind of what I was going for here. I've done this before in the past. I like to make these Trigger Rush lists, like what I've done with green-yellow Arlong, or even green-yellow Yamato, by the way. I like to, how do I say this? There are a few different card packages within the game, within colors in the game, where it's like, okay, even if your leader's not very good, you can just run a certain package and make the leader work. Not saying you're going to win any major tournaments with it, but you can at least make the leader work, especially at like a local level or on the sim, just having fun casually. Now, in the case of black, you have Navy. For blue, you used to have the 7 Warlords package. For green, it's like a Supernova thing, but that typically forces you down a Supernova leader path. What else? For, purple, you have Straw Hats, and red, now you have a really strong Straw Hat package as well. Well, for yellow, there's not necessarily one thing that's super good. Big Mom Pirates is pretty solid, and then Land of Wano's pretty solid, but honestly, there's like a Trigger Rush version that you can run within yellow that's pretty good, where you run a bunch of super strong trigger bodies from your life, and then play around with the life as much as you can with cards like Katakuri or Yamato, and then we have access to some Rush as well with 7 cost Enel. So that's kind of what we're going for here. Hopefully that all made sense. I know that was a little bit clumsy, but hopefully you guys understand. And if you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, by all means, put them in the comment section below. Now, this is an OP11 legal list. One card that I was considering that did not quite make the cut in my first revisions here is this 8 cost Luffy. It allows us to stay aggressive, okay? And by the way, that is something I'm trying with this list, guys. Notice I'm not running Gadatsu. I am running Katakuri, but that's just because this is a great card for removal and tempo and getting bodies on the board. But I'm really not running ways to... I'm not trying to slow down my opponent, right? I'm actually trying to just beat them down as fast as I can, and then when they attack into my life, okay, I'm just going to get the character to the board. That does two things. Number one, it actually does three things, right? Number one, it gives us tempo. It gives us a body on the board. Okay, so number two, that's something they have to worry about next turn. And number three, it doesn't add a card to our hand, which helps out our leader effect. Maybe that was just two things combined. I don't know. Whatever the case is, you're not having to draw a card to your hand, so that helps out with your leader effect, keeping your hand and life count low. And it also develops a body to do stuff with the next turn for tempo purposes. So I am trying to be as aggressive as possible. We're fine taking our own life cards with something like Zeus or maybe even a 5-cost Saba if you want to try that out, which I did try a little bit. It was okay, but it wasn't quite the same. I'd rather just run the Zeus as a 2K counter that has, additional upside or potential upside. So we got the Zeus in here. We're fine taking our own life cards. That's completely fine. A card like Nami is actually really good for Queen because, again, we want to keep our hand size low. There are times where we don't actually want to draw a card from this effect. We'd rather just use the effect, like especially from a trigger, use the effect to KO a character and not draw a card to keep our hand size lower so we can start pulling off our leader's effect as soon as possible. Okay, we're running 2K Hiyori because we do have a lot of triggers we can change around in our life with a card like this. But another card, speaking of that, see, like, that's where this Monkey D. Luffy comes in handy, where after we get the full value from Hiyori, we can actually, if the Hiyori survives, if it sticks around, okay, no problem. Same thing with the Zeus. Well, now we can smash in with the Monkey D. Luffy for 8,000, potentially 9,000 if we want to give the one Dawn to this Luffy. Or we could give it to our leader for our leader's effect, because that is a Dawn times 1 when attacking effect. But when we do this, we can trash a card from our hand and return a 2K back to our hand. So while we're not going down hand size, we are at least, getting some potentially better cards off the board back to our hand to reuse, like 2K counters. And actually, the more I think about it, guys, notice what it says here. It says, rush when attacking, you may trash one card from your hand. That's the cost. So the next part is return up to one character with a cost of 4 less to the owner's hand, and then attach it on, right? So we don't actually have to return our character to our hand. So we can just play this card down, attack in, when attacking, trash a card from our hand, maybe bounce our opponent's blocker or character out of the way, and start attacking into face aggressively. And now we are going down 2 cards in one action here. With this Luffy. So there could be something there. Again, it just helps out with our leader's effect, with Queen's effect. So this is something we have to look forward to in the future. Another card we have to look at in the future, it's not out yet. It is the 6-cost yellow Kuma, the secret rare from OP12. Not 11, OP12. That is, I'm just going to try to, from memory here, to the best of my ability, I'm going to explain what the card is. It's a 6-cost, 7,000 power, 1K counter yellow character. It's Revo Army, but it doesn't matter for what we're trying to do. It has on play, trash a card from your hand, and add the top card of your deck to the top of your life. And then your character, the Kuma, gets +2 cost for the turn. So you'll be, in fact, I think it's until the start of your next turn or until the end of your opponent's turn. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, I think is the way it's worded. Okay, well now you have an 8-cost character on the board with that effect, and you can start gaining life with your Queen if you have the correct hand size, right, and the hand plus life size. So that will be a really solid card, even just to play out. Even if you can't combo it with your Queen, it still ends up being very, very strong. And then it has an on KO effect on your turn, or excuse me, I think it's on KO on your opponent's turn. If they KO it, you gain a life as well. So the Kuma is going to be a really nice addition to this list. One thing I do want to mention, I'll try to save more of this till the end of the video so we can get into these games, is I would like to add more trigger bodies to the list. But you have to, it is kind of hard to balance in here. Like maybe Satori. I feel like we should have added Satori, guys. I'll try to talk about that more over the course of the games, like where Satori would be really nice in here. Maybe even, maybe go -2 Beige, -2 Hiyori, and go +4 Satori. That might need to be a thing. We'll have to see. But let me say this. I think we want as many trigger bodies as possible with this version of the list, so we can take hits very aggressively and potentially, possibly really punish our opponent. Okay. Yeah, Satori sounds really good, guys. For those who are not aware, I got to put Satori on the screen. This card would be very, very excellent for what we're trying to do. Let me find it. This card right here, 5 cost 5k, 2k counter, and then trigger trash card from hand to play the card. We actually want to trash the card from our hand, right? We want to trash a card from our hand, so that way we can, go down in hand size and develop a body at the same time. Yeah, this would actually be really, really nice for what I'm trying to do with this version of the list. Okay, that's about it. We are running Basil Hawkins here because it is a trigger. So, if we hit this, we can do a draw 2, trash 1, and fix our hand a little bit, or search deeper in our deck for some better answers, some better top-end stuff. And then on top of that, the on KO, by all means, KO the character if you want to. We don't really care because now you're going to lose a life, and now we're getting that much closer to winning the game. Another option to consider, there's 2 other options I think we should really consider for this list. The first one is 5 cost Nami, because this is a dual color leader. This is a multicolored leader. So we can do a draw 3, trash 2 on curve. This would be a good card to include in the list. Maybe it's like a 2 or 3 of. And then one, and let me say this. I say it's like a 2 or 3 of just for early on to fix our hand a little bit. Because remember, we want to go down in hand size and life size simultaneously while developing something like a body, in this case, even a blocker, which is really nice. Developing a body and then, going from there. But with this card, we don't go down in hand size, right? We play out for five Dawn, right? We play a character from our hand, so we went -1, but then we draw 3 and trash 2, so we actually break even, which is not bad. Again, we're going to fix our hand like that, and we could even set cards up to the top of our deck for next turn for something like a Yamato trigger, or excuse me, the Yamato on play effect if we're down to 1 or less life. So we can set things up like that. So that's where it would be nice to have a few of these Namis in the deck for sure. Then I also wanted to mention the 8 cost Captain Kidd. This is also a very, very good card to have in the deck because it allows us to play on an 8 cost character, so we can gain a life with our leader effect if we're at those conditions, trashing our opponent's life, and now we have this massive character on the board. We're cycling through cards in our hand. Really good stuff here, getting to better answers. And then one more card I want to mention from way back when I used to play this leader. I just think it's an incredible card to add to any yellow list. But in this deck in particular, it's very, very good. It is a 4 cost 5k, 1k counter blocker Sanji that says trigger, trash a card, play this card. So it's just like Satori where you have to trash a card to play it, but remember, we actually want to do that, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. We still want cards like Neko Mamushi and Kikinojo in here as just massive, very powerful bodies with very strong effects. But we also want to be able to play out blockers to protect us when we're super low in life. And in this case, it's also helping us drop cards from our hand. This is something to really consider. And even cards like Charlotte Cracker, since we are going to probably be taking our life a little bit aggressively with something like Zeus. Something to consider. Another card, one more card I want to mention before we get into these games for us to consider in the future is the 2 cost blue Marshall D. Teach. It helps us lose a little bit of card advantage in our hand, and it helps us move Dawn around to be more aggressive on the board. This is another great card to consider moving forward with the list, to try this out. Okay, that's enough yapping, guys. Let's go ahead and check this deck out on the sim, see what it can do. All right, first game up, we got against Red Black Koby. Volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. Okay. So it looks like, let's see who gets to go first here. We got 2 Enels in hand. All right, so it looks like we're going to get to go first here. And guys, like I was saying in the intro, Enel is a very solid card in the list. Developing a 7 cost that's really sticky, and they can't, if they do try to remove it, we lose a life card. That's actually not too bad for this deck for what we're trying to do. So we swing in for 5, we develop a Brûlée, they're down to 4 life. Actually, excuse me, they decide to counter out of that, they're still at 4 life. And we want to get them down to 3, so we aggressively counter it out just in case we have any Land of Wano triggers in our life. We do aggressively counter out, going down in hand size, and hopefully not losing out on a potential trigger. Okay, so we swing in for 5, and we're going to go ahead and trash a, we're going to play out the Nami, trashing a card from hand, KOing the Hina, and getting, and trying to get rid of that, but they used their Koby effects to save it, and now they're down to 1 card left in their trash. So it wasn't a total waste. I believe we did get to cycle out a card with the Nami effect. We're fine. They attack in for 7. We take it. We get a Brûlée on the board. They swing in for 7 more. I think it looks like I'm considering cashing in on this blocker here. I think that's fine. I think we probably should have just taken the hit, though, to see what we get. Okay, so we're going to swing 5 in a face. Let's see what they want to do. They just give us a blocker right away. Wow, okay. Hey, that's fine with me. It looks like I think we're going to swing in for 5 more here. I think we should swing at 5 at face first to see what they want to do. I'm considering playing out the Enel first to go into the board so that just in case they take the Queen hit, they won't be able to, get an extra card. So see that it looks like they were planning on taking a hit from the Queen anyway to draw cards. We swung 7 into the Hina, got a 2 out of their hand, and we're good to go now. Okay, they're going to follow up with a Helmeppo play here, trashing a Koby, getting the Koby into play. They're going to make it where a character can attack into active. Okay, it looks like the Sanji was chosen to attack into active characters. Now they're going to swing 6 into 5. So I lose my Brûlé from the Sanji. I lose my Nami from the leader attack there. And now they swing into us for 7. I give them a 1k counter. They're going to swing 8 into 7. And now we're going to give them a 2k counter. And now they're going to swing 9 into 7. We're going to use the effect here. And we're going to just trash the top card of our life. They're going to lose the Koby in a turn. They play out a blocker, and here we go. So now the ball's in our court, right? Now the ball is back in our court. I'm trying to see the best way to deal with this. What we're going to probably do here is I think we're going to go 7. We have 9 Dawn to play with. We're going to play out this Katakuri, pushing the Helmeppo to the bottom of their life. They can't save it because they have no cards in trash. That's why it was so important to play out that Nami earlier to get the cards out of the trash. So then we smash in. They counter out of what they were able to there. They're going to play out Dragon. I don't like that. I don't think I can save this card fully, but we're going to try. They're going to swing for, it looks like they have, guys, they can swing 7 3 more times. They're going to go 7 at face. We're going to take it, and we're not going to use the effect there because now I can get out of both of these 7s. I'm going to 1k counter out of that one, and now they're going to swing for 7 more. Excuse me, 8 more. Okay, shoot. I forgot about the effect of Hina. She was able to attach a Dawn, I believe, with their activate main effect. So we were not able to save it after all. Oh, well, it is what it is. And now we're going to be able to smash into this board a little bit. So I think we're going to go 11 into 9 here. I think it's our best bet. It looks like I'm trying to do a little bit of math because I do still want to play out other things for the turn. We're going to go 11 into 9. And now I think we're going to go... I think what we're going to do is we're going to play out... So pause. So I know I was starting to get Dawn there, but during the game, I was like, you know what we're going to have to do? I think what we're going to have to do here is actually, you know, smash into the play out the NL and swing 7 into the Hina. That was what my play was going to be. And at that point, let me see, they could have saved it though. See, so I don't know. Maybe that would have been the wrong call. And that's why you should never leave, guys. Oh, excuse me. What am I talking about? I had to gain a life this turn with my leader effect. That's why I was attaching Dawn. I was going to say, wait a minute, what am I doing? I have to be able to attach Dawn to my leader to gain a life this turn. And what we're going to do, for sure, is smash into the... Oh, okay, we actually have a really clean play here. It was going to be attached 2 Dawn to my Queen and attack 7 into the Sanji and let them draw a card, who cares? And then we play out the non... Oh, and by the way, we gain a life from that. We do gain a life from that Queen interaction there because we have an 8 cost character on the board and we have 4 cards in our hand plus life. And then from there, we play out the Nami with the remaining 5 Dawn. And, oh, that's why I'm getting confused, guys. Their Hina is an 8 cost character right now. That's why I got confused. My apologies, guys. I totally forgot about that. I was like, why is this play so complicated? I got it figured out. We got there eventually, guys. Bear with me. So what we're going to do in this position here is we're going to attach 2 Dawn to the Queen and swing 7 into the Hina. Now, it looks like they can save it, which is fine, because remember, we would go up to 2 life. We're fine. We went up to 2 life. We're going to be completely okay there. And then we play out the Nami, trashing the Basil Hawkins to get rid of the Sanji. And we draw a card, and they'll also draw a card, and we'll go from there. But again, we'll be at 2 life, so we're doing just fine there. We can't get rushed down the next turn. And yeah, if they want to dedicate their entire turn into going into my Katakuri, which is probably the best bet, things would go from there. But they definitely left a little bit early, because Koby could have definitely climbed back into this game, depending on their decisions on next turn. Okay. Now, that was the first game. Let's go to the second one. So that was against Red Black Koby. Next game here is against Purple Yellow Crocodile. Okay, volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. Purple Yellow Crocodile, very spicy matchup here, right? We don't have a lot of meta matchups, okay? Let me not get anybody's hopes up, but because this is very much an off-meta leader. This leader, Blue Yellow Queen, struggles a little bit, just being honest. It's kind of been power crept past. Okay, so they're going to play out a Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. They're going to swing for 6 at us. I can 0 cost 3k to get out of this, so that way next turn I can just go ahead and use my Nami. If I had a 2k, it would have been perfect, but I don't have one in my hand. So now this turn, I'm going to be able to play out the Nami and KO this Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. It looks like I'm going to trash the Neko Mamushi to get rid of that. That was a tough call because I do like having Kikanojo in case they remove it. I can gain a life. But Neko Mamushi is good as well because it's a 1k counter in hand, and it's also a body that has a very relevant when attacking effect. Okay, we're just drawing all of our Namis. Guys, Nami is an incredible card, okay? If you can build a deck around it with all the triggers, it is a very strong card. Keeps our hand size low. It's actually very good in Blue Yellow Queen. So we smash in for 6. We smash in for 6. I'm trying to get the 2K counters out of their hand. And guys, maybe they don't have very many 2K counters because they took both of those 6K attacks. They're down to 1. They have 7 cards in hand, 8 cards in hand now for the turn. They're going to swing 5. I'm going to protect my board. Now I'm going to let it go. Or, I'm going to block and let the Brûlée go, because I want to keep this tempo. Guys, that's 3 cards I'm forcing from their hand or life every single turn. Every single turn, we're getting that. Okay, so let's see what we do here. There is some logic to attack into the Basil Hawkins, because we do want to go down in life eventually so that we can start, you know, gaining life when we get an 8 cost or higher character on the board. So we're going to poke in for 5. They give us a 1K counter. We'll poke in for 5 more. Again, we're just eating their hand up right now. And now they have characters to attack into on the board. That's fine. They end up doing some type of trash effect there. Oh, the Crocodile. Excuse me. They use the Crocodile characters effect to do a Dawn -1. And it's a on opponent's attack, draw 1, trash 1. Okay, we play out the Nami. We do lose a life from that. We develop the Kikinojo. We're at 2 life. I feel very safe here. I don't really think they're going to be able to rush me down because I have 3K counter in hand. They're going to swing 5 into that. We're just going to get out of it. They swing in for 9. We let it go. They play out a Yamato. There's nothing on the board for them to get rid of. Nice. We finally got our 8 cost Katakuri. We do have a sequencing issue here. I should have played out the Katakuri first so they cannot use their Crocodile's effect. This was a sequencing issue. This gave them a Dawn as active, and they got to cycle a card for free. That should not have been available to them. That was just a mess up on my part. And then this turn was going to be swing 5 and 3 6s. Just eating up all the 2K counters from their hands. Okay, so right here, again, they got a little extra value there. Well, now I can swing. It doesn't matter because they already cashed in on that. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So now play out the Katakuri, pushing that in. Make sure to have an 8 cost character on the board so we can gain a life with that effect. We're back up to 3 life. Our board is stacked. We have a 2K in hand. I'm not letting him have one of these characters on the board with his leader attack. If he wants a character on the board, he's going to have to do something about it with his, you know, with the Yamato. Or invest a lot of Dawn. So there you go. So I let the 1 go after that. You know, I counter out of the 1 attack from the Crocodile. And now, oh man, look at what we just got, guys. Look at the card we just got. We're going to swing in for 6. Okay, now they just gave me a 2K counter there, and I know they're hurting because we're swinging for nothing but 6s. So now there is some logic to actually go into this Yamato, guys. There actually is some logic here to go into this Yamato, but I'm going to swing in for 7 here, and let's see what he does. If he counters out, okay, now we're going 9 into the board. If he had not countered out, then we would have not gone into the board. But at the same time, I think I should have gone into the board first. But hey, I guess, you know, we ended up playing a little bit greedy, and we were able to punish our opponent there. We got you know, very fortunate with that. We're up to 5 life. Guys, we have 0 cards in hand, but we are up to 5 life, and they cannot just remove that NL. That NL, it's not going anywhere. Okay, they attack in for 5 first. We get a Kikinojo trigger. That's why we run it like this. Okay, we got a beige trigger. I was going to say I wish that was Satori or Sanji, but we had no cards in hand to use it anyway. Okay, so they have 2 Dawn active. They're down to 0 life. They're obviously running Oh Come My Way. We're going to smash in for 7. Let's see what they do. Oh Come My Way, redirecting the attack to a Kikinojo to gain a life. Very nice. Now watch this. We are going to play out the Zeus, KOing the Kikinojo, so they can't redirect the attack to the Kikinojo, and we are going to swing for everything into that Yamato, 14 into 9. He has to let it go. We swing in. Actually, we're going to swing with our leader first this time, just in case he has like a beige or some type of trigger. You never know. And then we're going to swing it for 5 afterwards. That's fine. Our board is stacked, guys. We're looking good. They're going to swing for 5 into 5. I'm just going to keep giving them counters as much as I can. They play out another Crocodile. Seems good. And then we get the perfect answer. We're going to do it right this time, pushing it out of the way first so he cannot use the trigger. So he cannot use the trigger to, cycle or the on opponent's attack effect. So we swing in for 6. They do get a miss all Sunday, but we're going to go up to 4 life. They got a beige from the trigger before that, so I can't attack him with one of my Katakuris. And okay, here we go. Purple Yellow Croc hanging in there, guys. Purple Yellow Croc is a really cool deck. I'm a huge fan of it. All right, they're going to go 5 into that. I'm going to let that go. Now they're going to 6 into Kikinojo, and I'm going to save that card. And now here we go. They play out the Crocodile. Dawn -2, gain a life. And here we go. So now we're just going to poke in for minimal attacks everywhere. Swing 7s, but always an odd number, okay? Odd attacks, odd number attacks into odd power leaders, you know, and then even number attacks into even power leaders. So in other words, sevens into fives and eights into sixes and things like that. That's kind of an easy way to remember it. We're swinging in for 9. They're going to redirect. There's a reason I did an that I put the 1 Dawn on swing for 9, so they couldn't O-come my way into one of their crocodiles and just, totally ignore the attack. At least if we get something more out of hand or get a card off the board. Either way, we were in a very commanding position there. Good game to my opponent. Purple Yellow Croc. Really big fan of that deck. Look, guys, they had another crocodile in hand. Goodness gracious. Okay. Next game. Got a game versus Black Yellow Luffy. Okay, this was a fun one. This was a fun game. Quick game here. Don't want to get anyone's hopes up. This is just a fun, quick game here. So it looks like they're going to go first. They're going to start off with the Garp search, and they're going to grab, I think, a 2-cost Sabo. Yeah, they find a 2-cost Sabo with that. And now we just pass. We have nothing. We're not going to hit that the Garp with Zeus. We're not hitting Garp with Zeus there, guys. Good try. No, we're not doing that, guys. We're not doing that. They play out a Makino. They're going to set their life up the way they want it. We get a Neko Mamushi trigger off the top because they played out Makino first. They messed up their order there. We'll take it. So we're going to swing in for 5. Let's see what they do. They do give us a 1K counter, which I think is very smart because we're going to be very aggressive. I'm not saving that Neko Mamushi. I'm not going to, how do I say this? Just because I can't use his Dawn ×2 effect doesn't mean I'm not going to attack with it. Because I want him to have to swing into that or do whatever, and I'll save it, guys. Look at my hand. I've got 2 2Ks in hand, a 1K and a 0-cost 3K. He's not getting that Neko Mamushi unless he can remove it. And if that were the case, then then I should attack with it anyway because he can remove it with hard removal. There's the Zeus. He gets rid of it anyway, like we were saying there. He's going to swing in for 6. He's down to 0 life, guys. Hey, bold strategy. He swings in for 6. We get a Neko Mamushi trigger. Bold strategy, guys. We swing in for 7. We swing in for 7. Let's see what happens here. He gets out of it. And now we're going to swing in for 8. Gets out of that, too. Hey, your turn. Your turn. He can gain life here by trashing a card from hand. He goes up to 2 life, but now what? What is he going to do now? I still have all the same counter power in my hand as last turn, but I gained a 2K. We're going to probably 0-cost 3K to get out of this, or 2K, 1K, that's fine. They're going to swing in for 7 more, I think. Yeah, they have to. It's their only chance. Okay, well, now I just 0-cost 3K, and I have lethal. Guys, pause. Someone calculate lethal here. I kind of gave it away, right? We can just literally swing for 5, 5, 6, game over. We can swing for 5, 6, 5. We can swing for 5, 9, 5. It just doesn't matter because every time we attack into our opponent, Black Yellow Luffy, notice it's paused on the side here. Per the rules, your face-up life cards will be sent to the bottom of your deck instead of to your hand. So Black Yellow Luffy, the cards in his life, they're not going to his hand because they're face up. So when I swing for 5, that card goes away. When I swing for 5, the next one goes away, and when I swing for 6, he has no cards left. It's game over. He has no blocker. GG to my opponent. I think they try to take their own life a little too aggressively here, guys, with a Makino, a Flampe, and a Zeus. Hey, you do what you got to do, right? You do what you got to do, but I would not recommend that whole strategy there, going down that early, going down that low this early in the game. Good game to my opponent, though. That was a fun one. People are still trying to figure out how Black Yellow Luffy's going to work now that Gecko's gone. Okay, volume is off. Speed is on 2x. Here we go. Final game here. We only had 4 for today. We got a game versus Purple Black King. Okay, they're going to play out a Queen Searcher here. It looks like I'm not going to reveal what it was, unfortunately. We're just going to smash in for 8. We're not even going to develop the Brulee. We're just going to smash in for 8, so that way our Kikinojo and our other Land of Wano triggers are online. We're going to swing in for 6 here. See what they do. I'm sure they'll give us like a 2K counter probably. Who's who? I think that's who they searched up with the Queen, by the way, if I remember correctly. Sometimes I read what it is that they search and I don't actually show it. They develop a Jack KOing our Kikinojo. We're just going to take it. Okay, we get a Red Rock. And now, pause. We have some options here. So, guys, we have some options here. What would you do in this situation? We're on a 7 Dawn turn. They have Jack on the board. Here's the question I have for you. How relevant is that Jack if we just drop down a 7-cost NL? Do you guys see where I'm going with this? I don't know if we have to worry about Jack here. If he wants to attack into my life, be my guest. We can either counter out aggressively to get more cards out of hand or take life and go down in life count. So in this situation here, you have a lot of options, right? I mean, if you want to, you can load 7 on your leader and swing 12 into Jack because we have 7, so we can go 7 plus 5 is 12, 12 into 8 if you want to. I wouldn't suggest that. I think that's probably like not a good play. The other option is we could Red Rock and swing for 6, or we could just swing 5 at leader, swing 7 at leader with an L. So let's see what ends up happening here. What would you do, guys? What would you do? There's other options as well. We can even try to develop a Neko Mamushi, but that probably would not be smart with Jack on the board. So look at this, guys. Swing 5, swing 7. You're down to 2, and you're not getting rid of my NL. I'm just going to tell you right now, with the cards that I have in hand, with the current board state, there is no way that he's getting rid of my Enel unless he can lower the cost of Enel while, you know, dropping a Luffy or something to prevent my effect. So they're going to -5 the cost with the Nico Robin, try to remove it. I just trash my top life card, don't care at all. And then they swing in for 5, we 1k counter out to get cards out of hand. They play out Briscola, I think the character's name is. It's just a 2-cost, 2,000 power, 1k counter blocker. Okay, so here we go. We're on a 9 Dawn turn. Again, like I expected, or like I predicted, they could not deal with my Enel. So we're going to swing in for 6 now. That gets a 2k out of hand. We're going to swing for 7. They end up taking it, not using the blocker. That's fine with me. They get a trigger to do a top 4 search, I believe, with that event. And we're going to play out this Katakuri and just push that card out of the way. Okay. They're going to do another search here with another event, this time from hand. They still have 8 Dawn left for the turn. They're going to play out Queen here, do some searching. They search up another Jack. They're going to swing for 5. We're going to 1k counter out of this. And I think they swing for 8. And watch this, guys. If I remember correctly, they swing 8 into face instead of into my Enel. And it's like, okay, that was actually a really good play there because I'm going to double 2k counter out, but it kind of helped me out. It helped me drop my hand size down, at least for now. Okay, he's got another Jack on the board. He can't remove anything with it. He's just going to use the effect to cycle. But right here, guys, I think we're just going to go aggressively into the, into face and board. Okay, so it looks like we're going to attach a Dawn to our Queen. We're not going to our leader Queen. We're not going to be able to get our opponent down, or excuse me, we're not going to be able to get our life and hand size down low enough this turn with what I want to do because I want to play out the Gum Gum Red Rock and the Charlotte Brûlée this turn. So we swing 6, we swing 7, we swing 8. We're going to bottom deck that card. We're going to put a blocker on the board. And hey, if he wants to tap that Jack down to remove my Brûlée, sure. Okay, well, that was the next best thing, but how is he supposed to get past this next turn here? He gets rid of that card. He gets rid of 2 cards with the Kuzan plus Jack combo. He attacks in. We get a Nekomamushi. We're going to go 7 into this card. If he somehow protects this card, it survives, then we will just Gravity Blade it off the board or just keep swinging it aggressively. We're going to swing for 7. They're going to counter out. Now we're coming in for 15, I believe, or excuse me, 13. Not quite enough. Good gain to my opponent. Okay, so that's it for the games today. That was a lot of fun. We were in a little bit of trouble there, guys. If we couldn't close out the game that turn, we were definitely going to be in a little bit of trouble there. Okay, so good game to my opponent and good game to all my opponents today. All right, let's go. And look, guys, look at their hand. One more thing before we go back to the deck. Look what's in their hand. 9-cost Lin with a Kuzan down. That's going to be able to put a Jack into life, guys. That's insane. Okay, now, let's look at the deck list one more time. Like I said, we do have to wait for a few new cards to come out to really help this leader out going into, like, OP12 with the new Kuzan, or excuse me, the new Kuma. That could be really, really good for the deck. I can't think of anything else off the top of my mind. You guys tell me in the comment section below if you can think of any other, like, really solid possible inclusions moving forward going into OP12. I'm sure there's something out there. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. What else? This card didn't come up much. I would much rather replace this with the Sanji we were talking about from earlier. The 4-cost Sanji from yellow with blocker. This card. So if I were to make any like immediate revisions to the deck, I think what I would do is I would definitely go probably -1 Basil Hawkins and -2 of the Onami. And maybe even go -1 more Basil Hawkins and go +4 Sanji. Literally go up 4 Sanji. And then I don't know if we even need this Capone beige here. It's good to have some in the list. I think what we'll do for the time being is maybe go -2, like I was saying. -2 beige, -2 Hiyori, and go +4 of the 5-cost Satori. I think that, let me move the leader so it all fits on 2 lines. I think this is the first revision I would make to the list just right away. Let's see if there's any like other 8, 9, or 10 cost characters for us to consider. Like I said, Eustace Kid is probably a good decision here, and I think it's probably even better than Yamato. I know that sounds crazy, guys. It might sound crazy, but I actually think that Eustace Captain Kid would be a better inclusion in the deck for what we're trying to do, even better than Yamato, because I didn't find myself playing this card out very much. So I'll say it like this. Maybe what we do is we go -3 of those, go +2 of Eustace Captain Kid, and then going into OP11, getting access to the new blue 8-cost, this Luffy here. Maybe we go -1 Enel and go +2 of the Rush Luffy. That might be an option. I don't really want to go minus any of these categories. I'm going to be honest. I think this card is just so good right now. Pushing 8-cost purple category out of the way. Pushing 8-cost Eustace Kid out of the way. Even if you're playing against a green-purple Luffy and they buff up their 6-cost 7K, the new secret EB02 Luffy, the one with Rush and that can attack twice. Even if they buff it with the stage, we could still push it out of the way with Katakuri. I'm just going to say this right now, guys. If you're excuse me, if you're messing with any yellow decks right now, like I don't care what combo, yellow with red, green, blue, purple, or black, or even just mono yellow, I would seriously consider this card. I think it's that good. I think the card's that good. Maybe we can go down to 3 of them. There might be some logic in that. But yeah, you guys tell me what y'all think in the comments section below. Another option we could have, if we don't mind going down a few 8-cost characters, is, well, not a few, but go down 1 8-cost character, and then go +1 of this Luffy here, and then go +1 back up to +1 of the 7-cost Enel. So that way we have more rushers in here to combo with our trigger bodies. So yeah, this is kind of where I'm leaning right now. I don't know if we need Gravity Blade Raging Tiger, to be honest, because we are running 4 Namis and 4 Zeuses, so maybe we can clear this space up for 2 other events of whatever we want here. We could go +2 more Red Rocks. We could go like +1 Red Rock, +1 Red Rock, +1 of the event. There is some options there. There's definitely some options there. Let me look at any kind of 9-cost characters for now. You can try to set up a Sanji trick. I have seen people mess around with the 2-cost Marshall D Teach and like do tricks with Sanji. I'm not really trying to do that. I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm not a huge fan of that. Mihawk I do like, but with all these very relevant 8-cost targets in the format, like I said, 8-cost Katakuri being the main one, and then even the 8-cost Luffy, other 8-cost Katakuris, 8-cost purple and yellow Katakuri, and then 8-cost Eustace Kid. I think it's better to just be able to hit that 1 extra target for 1 Dawn cheaper, by the way. Like, yes, okay, Katakuri I think is just strictly better in the current format and in this deck than Dracula Mihawk, because it's 1 Dawn cheaper. Like, Katakuri is 1 Dawn cheaper, even though it is like 1,000 power less, but you hit 1 target larger than Mihawk does. Like, yes, Mihawk does bottom deck the card versus giving life, but guess what? Another option you might be able to do is, like, say you get a trigger Charlotte Brûlée down on the board. Okay, well, you might want to do some type of play where you play out a Katakuri to push your own Brûlée into life. Like, that might end up being a game-winning play. It really just depends on the board state, obviously. But yeah, that does open up some options there. So the list we're looking at right here has 2 open spots in it. I would consider some more trigger bodies or something along those lines. Maybe even some new events coming out. Let me see something real quick. There are some decent events coming out. I think one's called like Red Hawk, like the red event. It's a 1-cost event. I think it's called, yeah, here it is, Gum Gum Red Hawk. This is something you should consider for sure. It's a 1-cost event that has main. It does not have a trigger, unfortunately, but listen to what it does. 1-cost main, rest 3 Dawn, so pay 4. Look at it like that. Like, okay, pay 4. If both players' total amount of life cards is 5 or more, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with an original cost of 5 or less. That's actually very good for what we're doing, right? That's actually very good for what we're trying to do, because we are continuously going up and down in life. So if we're staying around 2 or 3 life and our opponent's staying around 2 or 3 life, well, okay, if it's 5 or more life in between us, we're going to be able to do quite a bit with that. Okay, it is for a 4 Dawn investment, but that means, okay, let's say you've already gone to the late game and you're at, let's say you're at, hang on, let me do some math here. Say you're at 2 life and your opponent's at 2 life, right? So that's only 4 life. Okay, well, crap. What are we going to do now? Well, what if we top deck this card with Queen, with our leader? Say we top deck this card for the turn, and say we just have 2 cards in life, no cards in hand, but say we already have an 8-cost on the board. Okay, well, now we actually can do this trick where we attach a Dawn to our leader, right? Let me, where's the leader at? Let me put this card in the deck real quick just so we can talk about it. And get back to the leader. So if we attack with our leader, right, with 1 Dawn on our leader, attack in or more, whatever we have to attack in with, we can gain a life to go up to 3 life for the turn in this specific example. and then your opponent's at 2 life. Well, now we just went up to 5, 5 life between us, 5 or more life between us, and now we can still KO a 5 or less. And one thing to note about Red Hawk, guys, read that very carefully. I'll pause. Hey, guys, I'll pause for you. Read it very carefully. It does something very, very important, doesn't it? Rest 3 Dawn cards. If both players' total amount of life cards is 5 or more, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with an original cost of 5. So, they have a 5 cost 7k Sanjin Pudding on the board. Oh, man, they used the stage and made it into a 7. Oh, man, shucks, right? Oh, shucks. No, we can hit a 5 original cost. So this will still be able to hit it if you and your opponent have 5 or more life. You can KO a character based on their original cost of 5 or less. So really, really good stuff there if I'm understanding that correctly. Okay, well, that's about it, guys. That's what I'm going to leave y'all with today's video. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. I know a lot of people are probably going to ask, like, why not just run Blue Yellow Nami? Why not just run Blue Yellow Ace? I don't have an argument for you. Guys, just straight up, I'm just going to be honest. I don't have an argument for you. I would say probably go with Nami or probably go Blue Yellow Ace. But Blue Yellow Queen, still a very fun leader to play. It's a little bit different than Nami is. It's a little bit different than Blue Yellow Ace. It has its own kind of cool feel to it. It's unfortunate that Bandai did not add any like specific support for Queen in the future, right? It's unfortunate they chose not to really update this leader anymore. But who knows? In the future, they might give more support to it. And another thing to consider is what if, once rotations come in and this leader rotates out, what if they print a new Blue-Yellow Queen leader and go from there that's slightly power-crept and, more appropriate for the current meta, the current environment we're in, right? You never know. We'll have to see what happens. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me get the outro page on here. I appreciate you guys. If you're supporting me in any way, shape, or form, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my stuff, using my TCG Player affiliate link, if you're supporting me through donations on Patreon or PayPal, if you're a Playmat supporter, a YouTube member, part of the Discord community, however you're helping me out, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me what y'all think about Blue Yellow Queen. How are y'all building it? Are y'all having success with another list? What are some standout cards? Help me out, guys, in the comment section below or on the Discord. All right, until next time, guys. Peace.